In this video, I'll show you how to properly run your wiring on your motorcycle. I don't usually show a lot of the wiring and how I route it in my videos. I kind of just do my own thing. But also I don't do it right. I've been taking a lot of shortcuts over the years, and when I'm running wiring under the gas tank and stuff, I'll just zip tie the wire to other stuff that's under there, existing wiring and different things like that. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the process. We're going to remove the seat, we're going to remove the gas tank, and we're going to redo a bunch of the wiring that I've previously ran on this motorcycle. We're going to run it along the channel like it's supposed to be, all tucked in nice and hopefully pretty professional. So we've got a bunch of stuff that we're doing to this bike over the winter, a bunch of new wiring and lighting and things like that. And before I can really get started on that, I need to wrap up some of the existing stuff. There's some things I'm taking off, and I just want it all to look good as possible. You'll see once we get under here what it all looks like and what it's going to entail, but no use talking about it. Let's just get moving. All right, so for starters here, obviously remove the seat. That's fairly easy, especially if you have a thumb screw. To remove the fuel tank, you need to get in here. It's fairly difficult to get a shot of this, but we're going to do our best. You'll find a rubber cap here. And once you pop the cap off, you see your bolt back here. And there's another one exactly like this on the other side. So you need to remove both of those bolts. This is a T40 Torx bit to get this bolt out. It's not easy to get to. It would be easier if you remove this wind deflector. I just working around it, I guess, like an idiot. If you do want to remove these wind deflectors, it's a T25. I'm going to go ahead and remove them on this side. I'm having a hard time getting to that bolt. There's just not as much room on this side of the bike, I think, so I can't get a good angle on it. Once you've removed those two bolts, you'll find another one here and another one here. Alright, I think the Torx on these are 35, and I apparently don't have one, so I'm just using a 1/2 inch socket. Alright, now that we've got all our bolts for the tank removed, the next step is to undo the Petcock. Do they even call this a Petcock still? I don't know. Anyway, the fuel line. Alright, so this is how this is going to go. We want to be pretty quick so we don't drip gas all over the place. You're going to push up on this sleeve and pull it down. Alright, a little bit of gas, but not bad. As soon as you pull it out, you're good to go. So she's disconnected. Alright, well that went pretty good. Now, that's all that's actually holding the gas tank on. We're loose now. We do need to take care of the wiring and the lines here. This was just tucked down in here. I wasn't recording, apparently. But I just pulled that up. It's not connected to anything. It's just a vent hose. And then you'll see this cable is connected right here. So we can just slide that out, and this one comes down and connects right here, so that easily unplugs as well. And then this is just another vacuum line, so we can pull that out. Alright, so now I think we've got the gas tank to a point where we can lift it off the bike. course, being very careful because we don't want to drop it or damage it, or scratch it. What you're seeing here is basically the deconstruction of my Harley Davidson. I'm taking everything off because the thing is, to run the wires properly, we pretty much have to undo everything that I've already done in the past previously, because, you know, I just took the shortcuts and just zip tied it wherever I could. My goal is really to have like a professional wiring. I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but it's what I want. So I've got time, might as well just start taking it apart and redoing the wiring that I've done previously. It's okay though, because we're redoing a bunch of stuff anyways. All the LED accent lighting is going bye-bye. I'm replacing that with something new and different. So that'll be in a future video. So I'm tearing all the LED strips out, cutting all my old zip ties off so I can rerun my wiring. I've got everything opened up all the way back here, side panels off, saddlebag off. I'm going to do the same thing on that side. I got to get to the battery compartment so that we can undo some of the power wires and things so we can run it through the channel the way it's supposed to be. So what you're seeing here is I'm just going to work, getting dirty, getting all this stuff off so I can put it back together the correct way and hopefully leave it nice. One of the big ones we've got to take care of is this big power cable. That's for my amp from the Sounds Customs install. I did that. I didn't take the time to run it properly, so I'm going to redo that. So we're taking that all the way back to the battery so we can disconnect it and do it right. So all the blue zip ties are mine. This would be a really good time to clean the cylinder heads. Man, look at, they're so hard to get to. So now that the tank's off, I can do some cleaning and stuff under there as well, which is good. I'll tell you one thing that I don't like about the stretch bags is they don't just sit somewhere really nice like the flat bottom saddlebags did. Makes it a little less convenient because I have to find some place to lean them against. Don't mind the furnace noise, I'm just trying to stay warm. It's cold in here.
Show. I said I ain't got much, but I got somewhere to go. I got a case full of clothes and a...
Alright, well this has been quite a project so far. I hope that I captured that all on the GoPro, getting this cover off, but basically you just have to pop the cover off and that reveals all these wires. I don't really expect to see all these loose, I guess. I kind of expected to see like a wire loom of some sort, but I mean, it is what it is. That's just a ton of wires. I don't want to dwell on it, but it's a lot. Truthfully, you won't be able to fit a ton of wires under there. I think I'll be able to cram the one. Hopefully I'll be able to get this big one in for the amp. And everything else is pretty tiny, but this is tightly packed. This is a lot tighter packed than I expected it to be.
Later.
We're good to go. I've got all the wiring undone and we're ready to go. So I'm going to try to show you what I've got going on here. The cord here is for the Ciro powered phone mount, which wireless charging. This thing's awesome. Let's see. So I've got that run through the channel now. This one here is for my Power Vision tuner. I'm going to run that through here. This big one here is for the amp for the Sounds Customs system that I'm running on the bike. That's the three main ones we're going to run through here at the moment. So that's all coming down to the battery. Here we have the amp link power distribution module. It's pretty nice. A lot of wires, but this thing is super nice. You can do quite a bit with it. You can control how long before it sends power to certain things. So I've got everything like the phone mount, and my heated gear is on a 10-second delay. What that does is give me time to start the bike before things start powering up. That's when your motorcycle uses the most power, obviously, is when you're starting it. So that 10-second delay, start the bike, then your phone charger powers up, heated gear powers up, you're good to go. I also run my accent lighting through the power distribution module, but I've got that set up as constant because obviously sometimes I want my lights on when the bike's not running. The only time you can even use those lights in Minnesota is if you're sitting in a parking lot or something. You're not supposed to ride with them. Actually, like I said earlier, I'm switching out my LED accent lighting. So actually I tore all that out already, and we're going to be replacing it. We're going to be replacing it with something better, hopefully better, in the near future in upcoming videos. So that'll be coming if you're interested in seeing that. So basically all we got to do is kind of tuck these wires in here like so, as best we can. Just run them along with the other ones, and when we put that cover back on, try to make sure nothing gets pinched. I could probably run some zip ties along here to kind of keep things together, but I also want to keep it as flat as possible because obviously there's not a ton of space in here, so we got to keep that in mind. But the important thing is it all runs down here. This one will run down through here because it plugs in behind the side cover, and everything else is going to get wired up to the battery. A combination of the negative terminal on the battery, and then the positive end goes to the power distribution module. So that's what we're going to do. The positive end of the phone mount goes to this white wire here. I just disconnected it so I could pull it all out and run it through that channel. So that's what that one is. This one's going to be for my LED accent lighting. So there's that. And then the heated gear is wired to the purple line going to the power distribution module. So really all I need to do is get this stuff wired back up, and I think put that cover back on. Then we'll be ready to put the gas tank back on. I actually probably will not go through the whole process of putting everything back together, just for the simple fact that I've got more projects to do. So if I want to keep with the theme of tidy wiring and all of that, then I'm gonna have to just leave this open. So I'll probably just leave all this open and undone till we get towards the end of the Road Glide refresh project that we're in the middle of right now. Just trying to update things, change some things out, make it a little more exciting, fresh and new for the 2022 season is kind of my goal. So there you go. So at least that'll give you some sort of an idea of the proper way to run wiring rather than just the other way like I was doing, just zip tying wires to whatever I could find to zip tie them to. Obviously this is a little more work because we need to remove the gas tank, we need to pop the cover off of the channel here so we can run the wires in there, but it's just going to be a much better looking install. I mean, I do a pretty good job of hiding the wires, and nobody's ever been like, oh, you've got wires hanging, blah, 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 whatever. But just for my own personal pride, I guess, I just feel better doing it this way. So might as well just do it now, and it'll be done right, it'll look good, and we'll be all set to go. So that's how to do it. Hopefully you found it informative. I know it's kind of a mess. I've got a lot going on with wiring over here. We like to add a lot of stuff to the Touring Midwest Road Glide, and it's all good. It's fun. We enjoy it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there as always. We'll catch you in the next video from Touring Midwest.